Hello baseball fans and welcome to another edition of the British Baseball Podcast. Now don't get confused, I know you had an episode drop this morning, the discussion with artist Andy Brown. I hope you really enjoyed it. But as discussed today, because we need more baseball in the world, I'm now producing a second episode for you. This is our next in our team previews with the Sheffield Bruins team. Now this one was recorded while they were on their tour of Spain in a competition. It was the day before their final, and I hope you will get a nice little peek inside the world of the Sheffield Bruins, which is quite a new team. It's only been around for a little while, but they've still got quite a nice little history that they're building upon. So without further delay, me waffling on a bit more, I hope you enjoy this extra episode on this Monday. And at the end of this, we also have two more stories, as I said this morning episode, or if you listen to this in the future or in any random order, there's a few bonus tales on here from people in the baseball community. We had Bernard sharing his tale from his time in Liverpool, and also Jennifer from San Francisco's tale on Andy's show. And on this one we have a nice little story from Lucy, and then two stories by Gabor, the umpire. So sit back, relax and enjoy. If you've still got curly whirlies left, you're a better person than me. We'll get that kettle on, make us a cuppa. Ta-ra! Joining me on today's team review, I am joined by a couple of players and the GM from the Sheffield Bruins. Hola everybody.
How we doing? Hello.
And if you're wondering why I've changed from my usual intro with Ola, it's because they're currently on their winter/spring training camp in sunny Spain, and I'm joined by Kelly Wright, the only female GM in the north of England that we're aware of, Tim and Josh, who are two of the players of the Bruins. How's training camp? Everything going okay?
Absolutely amazing at this moment in time. Fantastic. The weather is 25 degrees at the moment. We've had a couple of amazing games on amazing fields, and I think everybody's just absolutely pumped up for more baseball. It's fantastic.
Need to start like a season then coming out playing some really tough opposition and just getting some reps in the sunshine when you can feel loose and feel ready for it.
Awesome. I've seen the pictures from the training camp as well, and the grounds out there look perfect for baseball. Some really nice setups. How are you finding it playing with the facilities over there compared to over here?
So it's different because they tend to have AstroTurf fields, so they tend to have dirt cutouts and dirt mounds, but they'll use AstroTurf because obviously it's less maintenance, but they invest a lot of money clearly into their facilities, so yeah, it is a bit different to adapt to, especially like the hops on the ground, and just kind of generally playing in that environment. But once we've kind of got the hang of it, I think we almost kind of prefer it, I'd say.
Yeah, I definitely prefer
100%.
it. It's also great that we don't have to turn up and build the field every time we want to play.
Yeah.
Always an advantage. So would you like to talk me through a brief history of the Bruins Baseball Club? I know you're quite early as a startup, but you're not without your success, are you? Would you like to go over some bits with us?
Yeah, by all means. So the Sheffield Bruins, strictly speaking, established in 2018, entered into the British Baseball League. A lot of the players were all good friends before, had played on previous teams together. And under a good friend of mine, Charlie Bafo, we stepped outside, out of our comfort zone a little bit, and decided to start our own team, just so we could be where we are today. You know, playing against good teams and really pushing ourselves as players. Entered into the Single A after a league vote. Won the Single A with a pretty strong outing, I would say. I think over a 20-win season. And went from there into the AAA last year. Sadly beaten in the final game of a 3-game series against the Trojans last year in the AAA finals. We always know it's tough to play them. They have a really long history of performing well at AAA, so we did what we could, but massive respect to them for beating us that day. But we've made a few changes this year, picked up a few good guys, and this year I think it's going to be very different, and we're hoping maybe we get our first championship.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I for one will be keeping my eye on the games, as you all know, trying to report this in. So as the season progresses, love to have you back on and fill us in on some game details. So you're saying that the team's been growing with new additions. Is there anything else that's been helping the team evolve? Like you've gone from being quite a new start. What was it that sort of made you think we need to take baseball or Bruins baseball into Spain?
Well, actually, we were quite fortunate that we picked up a really good pitcher named Mario Escobedo kind of midway through last season. He's Venezuelan. He's well known within the British baseball community, and he has a lot of good contacts. He plays not only for us, but he plays for a team in France and occasionally in Spain. And it was through those contacts that he kind of just suggested, do you want to go play this tournament in Spain? And we were just like, why not, to be honest? We were just, indoors doing training, and we thought it'd be much nicer to be playing actual games in a good climate, and just to see what we're like. I think it's very easy to kind of forget that the British baseball community is quite small, and the standard is it's difficult to judge comparing to the rest of the world. So I think we wanted to see kind of how good are we as a team in comparison to other people, to completely different teams in a completely different style of baseball. And I think we've been kind of pleasantly surprised, haven't we, so far?
Yeah, definitely.
What have you learned then from Spanish opponents with them being? Do you find that they play a bit different?
I would say the main thing is the consistency. They are well drilled teams. There's not many errors. And they will bring the game to you. They've got some very tough arms. They've got a lot of depth, and a lot of the guys can really play. So what it does is you just have to be well drilled and try and meet them with the same sort of basically consistency. So that's the main thing I've noticed from them. Is just that they swing the bat hard and they pitch even harder. So
Yeah, tournament scoring. Well, you've got your final tomorrow, final game, then you're flying back. How confident are you ahead of the game that you're going to take? Is there a trophy at the end of it, or is it just going to be pride and bragging rights?
Hopefully. I mean, it's always nice to bring back some silverware to add to the collection. And I think, to be honest, we rate our chances. It's one of those where we've now faced one team and from the area, and we felt like we competed really well. And I think we're just going to go into this game really just nice and honest about it, not try and do too much, just try and play the game well, try and hit some balls, try and strike some guys out, and see what happens. Really, that's kind of the beautiful thing about baseball, is that no game is the same. You can have some games that go over really quickly and some that are 9-inning epics, and so I think we're just gonna try and do our best. That's all you can do, and if we win, that's a bonus. If not, then we say we'll come back next year. But we've learnt a lot, and we'll take it into the season and see how we do. Yeah.
Would you recommend this then as a venture that other teams should go for, given costs now? Not that everyone can. Do you think it's beneficial training in Spain compared to something like pre-season friendlies over here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just like the temperature difference means that you can warm up so much easier, and because the fields are a lot better, you can judge where the ball's going to go. So I know, like on Thursday, obviously we flew in and we went to Seville, and you could see that we were shaking all the rust off. But then you can see over the past couple of days that we've just got better and better, and it means that we're going to be going into the season well drilled.
I think that's the main thing to take from it. I think teams have to be honest with themselves in how they feel they're playing and where they are as a team, because as I said, the teams out here are very well drilled. They are very good teams, so you have to be ready for that. If you're wanting to set yourself up for the season or wanting to push yourself as a team, 100%. Because I have no doubts this is probably one of the best decisions we've made.
You have to think realistically. It's about quality training. You can do so many indoor sessions over the winter, and you're limiting yourself to a small space. You can't really do that much, and you can't really get that quality training that you would get from a good game situation. And you just can't do that with the weather in the UK. So, even if you skipped a couple of training sessions and saved that kind of time, that money to one, whole weekend of doing baseball, I think that the gains you get from that massively outweigh the costs that you have to pay. And I wouldn't say that we've had to spend a lot of money to come here. We've got 15 or so people. We've managed to find a place that's about 20 euros a night or something per head, and the tournament was all covered basically. So it's not an expensive thing to do. I think the difficulty is having those contacts, and that's obviously one thing we're really grateful for, but also something we're going to try and work on with everyone, hopefully, throughout the years coming, to really make it a thing that we can represent British baseball, not just us as a team, but kind of as a group of teams to take out and show them what we've got, really.
Yeah, it's a great idea. So Kelly, what are the aims and goals and the objectives for the up and coming season?
So the main thing is to obviously go and win a championship, because that's what we're always going to set out to do. But other than that, it's just to develop the club. So this season we've got a development team up and running. We haven't got the numbers just quite yet to have an official second team, but we're going to be playing as many friendlies as we can, and trying to just get as many people involved, just and get people the game experience that they need to be able to step up from a beginner level to a high competitive level.
So how are you going about promoting the team then to try and get more people in for the development squad? What's your strategy?
So I think it's something you've already spoken to Charlie about, really, and it's something that we think is the best way. It's just, you have to ask people, you have to ask your mates, you have to ask family, you have to ask anyone that's willing to listen, basically, and say, like, you haven't tried it, well, just give it a go. And you can do so much with social media. You can do sponsored adverts, you can do everything like that, but ultimately it's down to kind of word of mouth. It's down to people putting the time in, and that's the best way. We've had a crazy number of responses to do with just people getting interested in baseball, not just from us going to Spain, but just people have seen stuff on Facebook or spoken to someone. And I think we're passionate just about talking about baseball. It doesn't have to be one particular team or one particular region. It's just talking about the sport and how you can get involved, really. And I think the more we do that, the more accessible it becomes, and just playing it as much as you can is the key, really, because people are interested in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of development as well, how are you helping the women's game grow? Because I've seen there are a few females in different teams playing, and the numbers seem to be growing. How are you seeing the game progress?
Yeah, so at the Bruins we actually have 3 girls that play for the team, and we're hoping to recruit more girls as we go along developing the team as well. But I work with Women's Baseball UK, who have got contacts with the other clubs that have got women in their team, and it's just basically trying to keep in touch with all the different girls that are playing and get them into locations at different times of the year to have the training sessions and to get more women interested in consistently playing. We're hoping that because we're hosting the game on the 25th of April, that we can get enough girls together and then eventually set up like an actual team, with the hopes that in a couple of years' time we can have a GB women's team together.
That'd be awesome. That's one of the questions I was going to ask then, is like, the one thing that I love about baseball is it's so inclusive and having mixed teams. Do you think that the MLB are far away from having mixed teams? I know this is a show about British baseball, but they seem to sort of be the league that a lot of people tend to watch. You think that with the introduction of female coaches in there, so it's sort of leading the way for more women to get involved in coaching, or is it getting female players involved in the main sport is a possibility?
Yeah, definitely. I think it shouldn't be about what gender you are. It should be about the skill level that you have. If women have got coaching qualifications, then I don't see why they can't come and coach in the MLB or play in certain positions that, like, if they're proving themselves against the guys, why should you choose a guy just because they fit the stereotype? You should completely just choose the player that you think is right for that position.
I agree, 100%. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the 25th of April. Sorry, you want to?
I think Kel's been quite modest, because actually at the moment, as of today, she is the RBI leader and slugging percentage leader for the team. So she's actually our best player at the moment. So it definitely proves that the girls can hit it with the boys as well.
I have to really stress Tim's point as well there. I mean, Kel has sold herself as quite a modest person there, and she's hit 3 doubles of guys that have played professionally in the States, pitchers, and you sit there and she's been modest about it, but realistically, like, I think it's fantastic when she goes up there, Kirst goes up there, Antonio goes up there, and they prove that, you know what, I'll hit this ball as hard as I possibly can, and they don't care. And I think it's fantastic, and I think more girls need to get behind that and stop worrying about what people expect. Everybody's behind you, the whole team's behind you, the league's behind it. So, get involved, and I think we're in a really exciting time for women's baseball, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the 25th of April. It's a date that's in my diary, and I'm hoping to get myself down to Sheffield and see it all firsthand. So we're looking forward to it. How do you see the Bruins progressing in the next 5 years? What are the plans for the future?
That's a tough question. Hopefully, we'll be able to recruit a lot more players, have a second team going. The ultimate goal in a few years' time is to get kids involved as well, and to be coaching in the local schools, because I think that if you can get kids started young, then develop them at a young age, and they can come in at 16, 17, playing at the highest level. And at the moment, at least in Sheffield, that's only just started to get going.
I think, to be honest, we really want to get the second team going with the hope that we can attract kind of people of all ages, and hopefully some parents that got kids that are interested and involved, and really kind of bring that sport get it centrally organised, so that we can have people that are there all the time at training, and that want to train, so that we can keep it going for a long time in the future. I think that's the main aim, is to make sure we've cemented ourselves within Sheffield for a long time into the future.
Awesome, thank you. Anything that I've missed off? Anything else you want to discuss before we?
No, I said I think just a quick update on Spain today. Just fantastic experience. The game finished 7-6 through 9 innings, and I tell you what, like, any British baseball fan would have been excited by that game. It was gut-wrenching at times. I think I speak for everybody, including Benamehi, when I say, like, it could have gone either way, and definitely we were just lucky to come out on top. Fantastic game, genuinely.
Cracking. I suppose you managed to record it, did you?
A few little bits, haven't we?
I've got a lot of the videos, so hopefully after we finish here, I'll go back and try and put it together into some kind of mini documentary type thing, just kind of recording it and showing what we did over the course of this weekend. So that'll probably come out in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Cool. Right, let us know if there's anything we can do to help you get that out and about and word spread. I know you guys don't need my help, but I like to feel like I'm playing my part. Okay, well, I will love you and leave you to prepare and do little quote fingers if you can't see me. Prepare for your next game tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll have a beer for you, Matt.
Oh,
I'm a Ribena guy, so fill your boots. Have as much cardio as you can fit into your face. Just don't do it neat. Always add water. That's my advice. Thanks a lot for your time again, and have a safe flight home. Let us know how you get on.
Bye now.
Cheers. Take it easy. Ta-ra.
Bye.
My story is my whole time playing baseball. I turned up to Kent Mariners training in August 2019, and the coaches and players were so welcoming, and I instantly fell in love with the sport. I can't forget that one of the guys gave me his old glove, and I was so happy. As I kept on training with the Mariners, I felt like I was already part of the team, so I made it happen. I've met some of the nicest guys, and will be playing for the Kent Mariners for a long time. London Series 2019. Sitting behind home plate during workout day. A guy from the group of 3 pointed at me and said, "Hey, I know you. You're an umpire." "Yes, I am." "You umpired our game against Sant Boi in Barcelona a few years ago." "We are from Wroclaw." "Yes, maybe I umpired games there. And you actually do look familiar." "Yes, you called strikes in the low outside corner of the zone. We still love you for it." Took a group picture. We had a beer together, and they gave me a t-shirt designed by one of them specifically for the event. Boston, 28th of September 2014. Went to see Derek Jeter's last ever MLB game, and it happened to be at Fenway Park. Made a sign earlier in the day to say goodbye to the captain in our own way. sitting in a bar on Lansdowne Street behind the Green Monster before the game, had our sign rolled up on the bar. 2 guys next to us asked to see what was written on it, rolled it out and started chatting. About 5 minutes into small talk, they asked how come we, a British and a Hungarian, also marked with flags on the sign, are interested in baseball at all. Rachel says, pointing at me, "He's an umpire." Both guys jumped up from their seats, shook my hand and introduced themselves with full names. We actually made it on the TV show with our sign.
And those are the lovely people there at the Bruins. We're looking forward to some more work with them in the future. And speaking of future episodes, next week I finally get around to interviewing Liam Carroll. Liam is the manager of the GB team, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing that one with you as well. Again, if you have any comments or you want to submit any feedback for the show, email me at britishbaseballpodcast@gmail.com or find me on social media if you want to suggest any guests for the future. But until next time, take care, be safe, love you all, ta-ra.